Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality. Sorry about my throat, it's still not quite right. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button now and hit the bell icon so you get notified of every time I post a new video. Well, if you didn't know, October 2018 is the month that is Asexual Awareness Week. Yes, Asexual Awareness Week is back. And there's a post on Facebook about it. So there's a page actually. So if you're trying to find out more about Asexual Awareness Week, it's on October the 21st to the 27th, 2018. So if you're at all involved in the asexual community, you're an activist, or you just want to raise more awareness, or you haven't come out yet, this is the week to come out, 21st to the 27th of October. So you can learn more at 1st to the 27th of October. So you can learn more at aceweek.org. This is their Facebook page. So I've just got this up for you. So I'm going to try and block that out because I don't think it's right to have friends sort of like showing there. Hi, Michael. So yeah, I'm just kind of taking my friends out of the equation because I'm on Facebook. So yeah, so as you can see, that's Ace Awareness Week. So just type in the Facebook search bar Asexual Awareness Week and it will come up with this page, and it's got quite a lot. It's got 14,226 people like this, 14,097 follow it. I'm not gonna carry on going on into it because I don't think it's fair to show people from my Facebook page, you know, on here. I don't think it's right. So this is what I'm doing at the moment to prepare for Asexual Awareness Week. I'm uploading more new designs to my Redbubble shop. I'm not on Facebook. Years ago, I left Facebook after an older woman hit on me. Well, it wasn't me, Michael. I like even younger guys, as you know. That is really funny. Sorry, I can't help but laugh. So this is my my profile on Redbubble, in case you didn't actually know. So this is like, that's got my picture from the Asexuality conference, and this is like my design. So I've been uploading more designs, so I've been adding new designs to it. So this is what went on today. This is live, by the way, on redbubble.com. so if you haven't seen my shop yet, go to redbubble.com. You need to go to redbubble.com/people/asexualise. You see? Sorry, do you see that in the top? If you want to find my shop, can you see that? So it's redbubble.com/people/asexualise. And then you can, instead of /works, you can just type in /shop and it will come up with my shop. So if you're looking for asexual merchandise for Asexual Awareness Week, please do check out my shop. This it says feeling AC. You can get it in different colours. So if that colour doesn't show up very well, some don't, look, you can get this one. See? Feeling AC. That shows it up a lot more, really, the orange. So you can just play around. So people don't know how to use this normally. I've had someone saying, oh, well, I don't like that colour, I want a different colour. So this is how you do it. Down here, there's a little, so if you click done, see down here, you can look at all the colours. So all you do, this is a unisex t-shirt, by the way. But if you want to find something else, see, you just go down here. I've got all these different types of things. You know, you can find them. But, you know, you can end up going through all of the Redbubble if you're not careful. So look down here. So when you scroll down, it will then come up with different designs I've got, and it will come up with, you know, some different colours I've got as well. So this is a graphic t-shirt I've done. So this is a two-tone. I really like this colour. I think it's really nice. But again, you know, this one just comes in the one colour, which is obviously a dual colour. But feeling AC, I think that's quite nice because it doesn't say anything about being asexual, but it's nice because it's in the asexual colours. I don't know if you can see. Excuse my voice, but this is a purple colour. It doesn't look, it looks really dark on my iPad. I can see what you guys are looking at, but this is actually light, slightly lighter purple than it's showing up there. And then you've got the grey and the black, and then you've got the yellow, the white writing for the asexual flag colours. But you can see down here I've got all different designs. And then you can just see I've got 53 products with it on. So, you know, this is loads of different products, as you can see. So, you know, I sell loads of different things. People just think, oh, she just does t-shirts. But no, I do hoodies. See, that one's quite cute, is it not? That hoodie with it on. See? And then you can go down. This is like long t-shirt. So you've got it. You can see it in the black if you want black. And then you've got, you know, you've got it in different colours. You got it in like this this grey-green colour, if you can see. So, oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. It does help this video go up in the search engines. And it helps raise awareness of asexuality more. So it does come in 4 colours, but you have to be aware that I don't choose all the colours, they do. So some of it, you know, you've got to really look at, because it's you know, this is grey on grey. So be very, very careful when you're choosing to make sure you're getting a colour. Excuse me. Just having a drink. Just make sure you get a colour that, you know, makes it show up as nice as you want it to. For example, you know, that, you know, shows the purple off more, doesn't it? Do you see what I mean? But then if you get the black, you're not going to see really that exclamation mark. So this is how you kind of navigate this. You see, and this looks so cool because they show you what it looks like, you know, with trousers and jacket and stuff. So I just think, obviously, you know, really, to show the wording off, you don't, you know, you'd want a different, you wouldn't really want a jacket on, but it still looks cool under a jacket anyway, you know. And then you can see how it looks, you know, in different designs and stuff. They do have some good looking guys on here, actually. I don't pick the models. Redbubble picks the models, not me. So yeah, so there's all these different designs I do. This is another one that was already, I put this on a few weeks ago. I absolutely love this. I would wear this myself. I'm actually thinking maybe I should get this myself because it's really cool. I mean, this is asexual colours. I've done slightly different colour purple because I just think it blends in really well. So this is a flag colours with the stars, and I just think this is so nice. It covers a whole lot. So again, it doesn't say, but you can get it just as a flag if you want, with the stars. So again, it doesn't say anything about asexuality. So if you're looking for an asexual awareness t-shirt, that's really, really nice, I think. So, you know, just play around with it. But this is the one I added today, and I also added this one. This is a new one. It's also on Amazon as well, this one. Don't talk to me about it. It meaning sex, you know, but it's a great t-shirt because it could fit a huge wide range of things. That could be. And it could also mean don't talk to me about IT if people are fed up with technology, which is quite funny. So if you're not out and proud about your asexuality and you really do want to cover it up, you could actually buy this t-shirt and wear it any time of year. But obviously, if you're raising awareness of asexuality on Asexuality Awareness Week, then people might say, you know, what is it? What on earth are you talking about? And then that's a point of discussion. So I think this t-shirt is really good for raising awareness of asexuality. If you want a t-shirt you can wear all year round, and perhaps you don't want the word asexual on there, but it's a talking point, you know, it gets people talking. But I just think it's really funny. Someone in one of my asexual groups as well said, oh, it, as in the film. Don't talk to me about It. You know, the horror movie It? I never really thought about that, but I thought it was quite funny. Because some people have said to me that some of my t-shirts, you know, they're very blatant about being asexual. So they wanted some more subtle t-shirts. So that's why I did some that are a little bit, you know, well, I had some subtle ones, but I don't think they noticed them as much. So I've made some much more sort of subtle ones now. And added... well, some might not think it's subtle, I guess. I added this. So this is I Prefer Cats. This is an aromantic. So I had this before, I Prefer Cats t-shirt, but it wasn't in aromantic colours. And these are the aromantic colours, which is of the aromantic flag. So it's dark green, light green, yellow, grey, and black. So yeah, I got all those in there. So I was quite pleased about that because that's quite hard to do, get different colours like that. And then I've got different, you know, I've got different colour backgrounds on the different t-shirts again, you know. So there are some different ones. And also I don't just do t-shirts and stuff. So basically this is like my shop of different designs on here. And you know, I can go to my actual shop. So if I go back to my shop, there is my profile. Right, okay, so this is my shop, and you can actually go, there we go. That was what I was going to click on, shop. There is a quicker way of doing this, which is writing Asexualise. You know, like I said, write that, you know, just write the shop there. This is get you much quicker there than the HTTP address. So if you go down the shop, this, you know, this is there's tons of different departments, you know. So I don't just sell t-shirts, I sell all this stuff like menswear, women's wear, kids, device cases, and all this lot. Do you see what I mean? So people just think, oh, she only sells t-shirts, but no, look, you see, you can get all these accessories for your phone. Oh, sorry. It switched me back to the camera really quickly. That's really funny. I didn't know it could do that. I just swiped it by accident. I didn't know it worked by swiping motion, this. So, do you see what I mean? It's got like loads and loads of different stuff, like phone cases, laptops here, cases, iPad cases or tablet cases, little pouches or purses. I just think this is so cool to have different you know, items for asexuals. You know, it's not just you know, not just t-shirts and things. So you've got you know, we do have women's stuff as well. Just have to say that because I talk about quite a lot of t-shirts which show men, you know. So you've got a skirt in it if you want that, you know. You saw that design earlier. This is a skirt in it. This is so cool, is it not? It's great with a black top. You could go out clubbing in that. That'd be quite funny. And then if anyone comes to me, yeah, if I wore that and anyone comes up to me and be like, well, no, I don't, I've already said I don't want to talk about it. If they try and talk to me about sex, it'll be like, thanks, just read my skirt. But then, yeah, maybe not. It depends which way they take that. If I say, don't talk to me about it, read my skirt, they might think it's a come on. You know what sexuals are like. But I thought it was quite funny. You said you spend a long time not knowing you're asexual, so I'm wondering how you went from not knowing to selling ace merchandise. I didn't know I was asexual to 2014, but I've been creating asexual merchandise since 2015 now, later on in 2015. So yeah, I didn't know I was asexual up till 2014. So I had heterosexual relationships for half my life. Does that answer your question, Michael? And then I actually met an asexual in London, and he told me about Amazon doing a special program where you can create your own designs and become an independent artist for for whatever genre of t-shirts you want. Because I was talking to him. Oh, I better flip you back. I was talking to this guy who I actually met up with, who was asexual in London. We didn't call it a date. We were just meeting as friends. It's the first time I ever met him. And yeah, we went to the aquarium together. And basically, I noticed on asexuality.org that there was a lot of people saying there's not much asexual merchandise around. And they wish there was more. Why me become so active in the community? That's a really good question. Okay, so actually, I just know I'm born to help people. It's really weird. Okay, so yeah, there was a number of things, Michael. So first of all, to do with the asexual merchandise question, just to finish that one first. This is a really good question. So first of all, because there was a call for a lot of merchandise on asexuality.org, I thought, well, yeah, that'd be great if I could do that. But I wasn't good at designing. I didn't know what I'm good at now, but I wasn't good back then. I mean, if you'd have said to me 4 years ago when I first discovered I was asexual, when I first discovered I was asexual, that I'd be designing t-shirts and items of clothing for people later on in my life, I would just laughed so much because I just wasn't that way inclined. I just never thought I could do something like that. And I think it was like, yeah, was it October 2015, something like that, or September? I think it was October 2015. I met this asexual friend of, well, I met him through asexuality.org, which was Avon. And then when I was meeting him, he told me about a program with Amazon where you can design your own stuff, and they will, it's print on demand, and they will basically deal with all the customer service for you. So all you've got to do is design the t-shirts. So originally I employed a designer. I used to sketch the designs out, and I used to send them off to him, and via my iPad, basically send them off to him, and he was meant to design them. But the problem is he wasn't listening to what I said. He wasn't listening to the specifications, and it was taking weeks for him to just do like a couple of shirts. And when I tried to tell him about the design, what I wanted, in the end, he wasn't giving me the sizes, so I couldn't upload, because the sizes are very specific for Amazon. You have to be in a certain range, otherwise they won't allow you to upload. And I was lucky because I got in on the program when they just opened. I was obviously, I believe everything happens for a reason, right? I believe everything, just comes as it's meant to come. And it was amazing that this guy told me about this program at the time, because a lot of people, they have to have they used to have an invitation to get in afterwards, or they have to apply now. You can't just say, I want to work with you, Amazon, and let me in. Some people get in quickly, and some people take weeks or months to get in, but it's more selective now. So I got in back then, and the designer in the end, he goes, oh, well, if you keep saying I'm doing it wrong. I said, well, I can't upload them because the sizing is wrong. He goes, well, basically, maybe you should think about doing it yourself then. And I think he was being a bit sarcastic and rude to me, to be quite honest. But I thought, well, stuff it, I'll do it. So I literally watched one YouTube video for 5 minutes, right? It's 5 minutes, so many seconds long. And then I designed my first t-shirt, like, really quickly. I'd done Photoshop at college, actually. I'd done both beginners and intermediate, and I've done Illustrator and Adobe InDesign, but I didn't really understand them at college. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it at all. I did all the night classes. I got certificates to say I've attended it and basically passed the class, but I didn't understand it. I've still got the paperwork, but it was just really, I found it so complicated. The teacher didn't say the basics of Adobe to me. They just went into more depth, and I hadn't even grasped the basics, and my brain can't take in stuff like that. So I watched this 5-minute video on YouTube, and I thought I've learned more from that 5-minute video on YouTube than I have from my night classes that I was going to college about, and so I made my first t-shirt, which my first t-shirt sold the next day. It sold within 48 hours. I'm like, my God, this is amazing. And I watched, it wasn't quite the right size, so I watched an 11-minute video, and then I resized it, and then, that's when I sold it within 48 hours after I'd uploaded it. And I thought, gosh, I can do this myself now. So then I learnt more skills in Photoshop to be able to do it myself. So I've been designing them myself ever since, and I really enjoy it. It's not easy sometimes. Sometimes I spend like 3 hours on one design, and people don't realise. They just think it's easy, but I'm not. And, I'm not a naturally technical person, so it takes me a while to learn it. And I don't, I'm still like a novice with Photoshop, really. And so, where other people might be able to know tips and tricks to get things done quicker, they can do it. But I'm very specific. I like to line everything up correctly. I like it all symmetrical. I like it all like the spacing to be equal between the wording, and I like a good looking design, and I even get the ruler out when I'm uploading these to Redbubble. You have to resize everything. It's not like Amazon, when you upload one size, it just goes on there. You have to like resize them all on Redbubble, and it takes absolutely ages. If you can imagine, you can have it on about 53 products. And some of them will automatically go on, like, if you do a phone case, it'll automatically go on like 4 phone cases. But you've got about 20 to 30 different items. You've got to put it on manually. It just takes ages. It really does. And so that's how I got into the t-shirt bit. And then to answer your question more, Michael, I also got into Meetups. So I'm just going to have another bit of water. So in January 2015, on asexuality.org, Avon as it's otherwise known, I got so fed up with people on a thread. It was called "Are there any aces in the Southwest?" It wasn't started by me. It was started by a person called Nasha in 2013. And don't forget, I didn't find out I was asexual to 2014, and then this was like January 2015. I just got so fed up with people in the thread saying, "Oh, I'm thinking about having a meetup. I'm thinking about meeting for a coffee. What do you think?" And no one was actually taking any action to actually put this into motion. All they were doing is casual stuff like, "Oh, do you fancy meeting for a coffee?" "Oh, well, yeah, no, I couldn't do it in the end," and stuff like that. Was no proper organisation. There was no, there was no action being taken. There was no one that looked like they were actually going to do anything about it. And I thought, Sandra, you got the personality for this. You're outgoing. You are an extrovert. You've been in management before, because I've been in 7 years of management, actually, in retail. And yeah, in the past I was scared of groups. Actually, I couldn't be in groups at all. So it really was kind of like, well, it'll be good for you to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, my whole journey with asexuality has been getting completely out of my comfort zone. I've had to push my boundaries to do every single thing I do. But I just thought it would develop me as a person. And I've never, ever in my life pushed myself to pass through my fears and boundaries as much as asexuality. I mean, you wouldn't even believe the change in me. I mean, I couldn't even talk about sex prior to 2014. I couldn't, I would only talk about it with my ex-boyfriend, which was back in, which predominantly I've been single since 2011. So I wouldn't talk about it even with my best friends. I wouldn't say what sexual stuff I was doing. I could make sex jokes though. I've always been able to joke about penises and stuff if I need to. If I'm in with company of sexuals, I like shocking them because I don't feel attached to it. I don't feel like, I don't feel like it has any relevance to me. So I kind of feel detached. But even when I was having sex, I kind of felt detached from the sex stuff enough to joke about it. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I've never been afraid of doing that. Oh, thanks for the second thumbs up. Appreciate that. And so, yeah, so I thought, well, I need to, someone needs to take control, and someone needs to take ownership and leadership, if you like, of the meetups. And so there was 2 women on there. Well, one was a girl, one was older. And, and I arranged with them to meet in Nando's. And that was back in January 2015. That was my first ever asexual meetup, just 2 women. And I just decided to set the time and date. And I was a bit worried because I had my job at John Lewis then. And that's where I used to work. And I was like, well, I can't meet you in the day. I'm really sorry because I'm working. I used to work every weekend because it was a furniture industry I worked in. Within John Lewis. And so, yeah, they were really kind and caring. They met me outside my work. I think it was 6:30. And we all went to Nando's together. And it was just me and the 2 women. But through that contact, just with those 2 women, I just found that someone really understood me. We could really relate to each other. We were actually joking, making sex jokes. Like we were saying that, oh, yeah, just because we're asexual doesn't mean to say we can't make sex jokes. People think you can't, but you can. And we were talking about asexuality and our experiences, and it was just so wonderful, and just in that moment, I knew from then on that I'd found people that understood me when for years no one understood me. I thought prior to asexuality that literally, I thought prior to finding out I was asexual and finding out about asexuality that I was literally the only one in the entire world, planet, universe that didn't want sex. I honestly thought that. I was going to give up completely on dating and relationships because I thought there's no way that I can have one, especially as I found out, when I found out, I don't know if you know, Michael, but I found out I was asexual because I went to a counsellor and I said, I just, I'm worried and concerned because I want a relationship, a romantic relationship. I still like kissing, but I don't want the sex. And she said, well, you have to have sex in order to keep a good guy. And I was absolutely horrified. That's the last thing I wanted to hear. I was really upset and horrified. I thought, how can I do that when I really don't want to do it? I just can't do it anymore. I have had sex in the past, but I was dating. After my heterosexual long-term ex in 2011, that was November 5th, we split up. Then I didn't date anyone for a year. And then it was like October, November time 2012 when I actually started dating, like a year later nearly. And I dated heterosexuals from then till 2014, all younger foreign guys, 21 to 28 actually. And then, you know, and then in the 2014 was when March, April time was when I saw the counsellor, and I just couldn't believe she was telling me. And that's when I went home and Googled, I love kissing, but not sex. And I wish I Googled it a long time ago. And then it came with asexuality, and then it came up with asexuality.org. And then I think I did 3 weeks of research to find out more about it and to find out where I fit on the spectrum, and you know, to make definitely sure I was it. And I was really happy because I was. And yeah, and that's when I discovered that. So that's how the asexual meetups came about. So that's how I came more involved in the community in that way. And actually, when my book, the idea for my book was got because I was told in an asexual forum on asexuality.org, I was told that I could not identify as grey A because I wasn't, because I was a heteromantic, you know, attracted romantically to guys, but I had grey A in my title as well. So I call myself a hetero. Back then, and pretty much now, I call myself a heteromantic grey A asexual younger cougar who does not like sex, just kissing. But I usually had hyper-romantic sometimes as well now. So, but I had grey A, and they said, well, you can't call yourself that. You're not allowed to. It's wrong. You don't, because I don't experience any sexual attraction. Whereas a grey A, textbook definition of grey A, means that you experience sexual attraction but not enough to want to act on it, or you experience it under limited, rare or specific circumstances, which I don't. But the reason I originally went with grey A was because, well, I used to say grey asexual, but then I changed it to grey A because I say it's my grey areas. So when I went on asexuality.com, which is a dating website and relationship website for asexuals, at first I was so scared on there. I literally put, hi, I'm Sandra, I'm asexual, and I'm just looking for friends. I really, you know, I love being with myself, basically. I self-date and love it. And that was about it, you know, because I was so scared. I remember what I was like. I was so scared, like, because I'd never thought about date. You know, when I went to counsel, I thought I was going to have to stop dating and having a relationship because I was just giving up, because I thought, what's the point? I just can't have sex. I can't do it. Every time I was around sexuals, I'd nearly wet myself, which is hard, but the truth, you know, and I was just so scared of that sexual energy from sexuals, like the expectation of sex at the end of the night if we went on a date. It was just horrible, and so I couldn't take it anymore. So, and then it was really weird. So asexuality.com, when I went on there, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, there's a possibility I could have a relationship, because, you know, as I've seen from asexuality.org, there's people like me who don't want sex. And when I first went on asexuality.org and went in the forums, I told them that I was looking for a relationship, and I got slammed straight away by a moderator saying, this is not a dating site. There's plenty of other sites for that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I got really told off. And so, you know, I stayed on there, obviously, but I thought, oh God. But it's really annoying because I think it should have a part for dating on there, because, you know, it's the biggest online community of asexuals, and it's really hard to meet someone compatible. You're more likely to meet them through that site than anywhere because of the thousands and thousands. And I think it's got like 25,000 people or more on it. It might be 40,000 now. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I think someone quoted 25 a long time ago. But I don't know. Asexuality.com has got absolutely... It's got at least... It's got loads of people on there. I think that's got 30,000+ on there, you know? But not everyone's asexual on there. But not everyone's on asexual on asexuality.org either. There are sexuals on there. So yeah, so that's, you know, I was really scared, and I managed to see this guy on asexuality.com, going back to why I put grey, well, I originally put grey asexual, why I put that in there in the first place, was because, you know, I saw this guy and he said he arranged meetups in London. So I thought, oh, he seemed like a guy, really knowledgeable guy about asexuality. So I thought, I'll message him. So I messaged him and told him that I like the passionate kissing, but I don't like the sex. And he said, oh yeah, you're definitely a grey asexual. So he told me I was. So I thought, great. And then I looked up grey asexual, and I wasn't sure if it was actually applicable to me. And I did believe in the beginning, I thought, well, maybe I do experience sexual attraction, but not enough to want to act on it. So I thought, well, maybe that does fit. So I'll put it down and I'll attach it after the heteromantic. And then when I went on asexuality.org more, and I was on there, I realised that when people were talking about sex, my body was like having this arousal reaction. I'm like, oh God, I don't like sex. Why is my body reacting this way? And my body started getting really aroused, and I'm like, this feels weird. It feels like my private parts are an alien to me. What's going on? And it was a bit scary for me, and I didn't like it much. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not normal. I don't remember being like this in a relationship. And then I thought back to when I was in a relationship, and I'm thinking, oh, but you did get aroused with touching, through kissing, so then eventually I worked out that it was high arousal levels I had, and it wasn't sexual attraction at all, because I realised that sexual attraction is when you look at someone and think, I want sex with you. And I never thought that. I never actually thought in my head, I want to have sex with my ex. I never, in my head, it was never like, oh yeah, you're so hot, I want sex with you. I remember when I was doing the washing up and he came behind me and touched my breasts and tried to instigate sex, and I would rather have stayed doing the washing up. That's not someone who experiences sexual attraction really wants to get it on, is it? Do you know what I mean? I was wearing rubber gloves, listening to my music, and thinking I'd much rather be doing that. And I hate washing up, I hate housework, but I'd rather done that than had sex. So, I don't think, like, he instigated most of the sex. I don't know if I did it occasionally. I might have done it a few times, I think, instigate, but that was more of a sense of control for me. Like to be in control of that. And with my ex, as I probably explained, he was very abusive, but not sexually. That was the only sort of nice thing about him, which sounds even more weird. But he was really kind and considerate and caring during that time. And so I think that's why I like that time with him. And yeah, sexually, he seemed to know really what he was doing. And he was very into giving me physical pleasure before the intercourse. So that's why I kind of liked, that's why I thought that I wouldn't, he was better at it than anyone else I'd had. And I liked that time with him because of that, because he was really nice. I saw why I, liked him or L'd him, and I don't like the word LOVE in association with him, so I can't even say the word, but why I LOVED'd him in the first place, because when those times go, and I always thought he'd change back to the nice guy he was, but he didn't, it just got worse. So yeah, I don't really like talking about him because it makes me have dreams with him in sometimes, but I only do it to help you guys out, but it makes me think about him and have dreams about him. Not that I ever want to, because I would never want him to be near me. I have to stay away from him. He's too, he's too risky for me to be in there physically, and, because he's abusive. And it's horrible. Anyway, I need to move on from that bit of the conversation. So yeah, I've really forgot what I was saying now. So you're asking me about of Ace Community. So I've said about the merchandise. I've said about the meetups. I've said how I came to be an asexual. Oh yeah, going back to the grey asexual thing. So I realised that I didn't experience sexual attraction. I just had high arousal levels. However, when I've been on asexual dating sites, I found that some of the heteromantics, when I mentioned the passionate kissing, it's just too sexual in behaviour for them. And I had this one Indian guy, I always remember it, he's one of the first people I talked to on asexuality.com. And he said, I'm really sorry, but I'd be so worried that you are too sexual for me. And I'm like, oh, that's really weird. Like, I'm asexual, but I'm sexual in behaviour. That's so strange. And then I felt like really bad, like taking the grey out. I felt that the grey A actually suited me. So I thought, because it's like a grey area, not grey asexual, but just going back to grey A is like my grey area. So after a while, it was quite a long time, I think, afterwards, I adopted grey A. And then that's how can come this woman on asexuality.org. So I couldn't call myself a grey A. Now I do get her point, but when I first looked at Avon Wiki, which is the Wikipedia version of asexuality, basically, it actually said that grey asexuality is a catch-all term for anything in between asexual and sexual. And seen as my behaviour was sexual with kissing, I felt it was only fairer and more comfortable calling myself a heteromantic grey A, because it's like I've got grey areas. So I shortened it to grey A, and then that's how my book came about, my Asexual Perspectives book, because I was so sort of angry and upset at the same time that a person can tell me how I can and can't identify, especially when it was originally catch-all term, and even there was someone else in the forum thread that said, as far as they knew, grey sexuality was a catch-all term, so it could, so she didn't see me she didn't see why there was a problem with me saying that about myself. And so that's, so that's how but since then, Avon Wiki's changed that. They've taken off the catch-all term bit. So that's a bit weird. But I think Avon Wiki's run by people on asexuality.org who make the rules up, kind of, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so that's how my book came about. And then I started speaking to other people at asexuality.org, and they were just as sort of peeved, even as a rule, against telling others how they can or can't identify. Yeah. If you go on there, I mean, I don't really want to talk badly of Avon because I think it's great, but I get told off by moderators for things that really, to me, I'm being singled out in there over, but hey ho, one was about my signature being too big, yet some of the moderators have got a bigger signature than me, and there's two lots of dimensions for the signature. One is within the signature rules itself, which I abided by, but one's on a forum post going back years ago. I think it's 2013, and I was told afterwards, well, this is what you've got to do. And then, and then I created a thread saying I feel I'm being singled out, and some of the people in that thread had got a signature outside the dimensions. And it's like, it seems like because I'm very prolific in the asexual community that I get a bit singled out lately. I've even been told lately off about posting my meetups on asexuality.org. As it happens, which they don't really know, I don't get many of my people coming to my meetups from asexuality.org. I get them all over the place. That's the least place I get them, but I do get some people coming through there, so it's still vital, and it's vital that people know about them, But mine's a national meetup, and speaking of meetups, I got my next meetup on November the 18th, 2018, because the Christmas lights have been switched on in Exeter, and we're going for a Chinese meal in the daytime in the restaurant, and because the Exeter lights are being switched on, which is Exeter's where I live, in the UK, in Devon, and then the lights are beautiful. There's usually a big polar bear and a little baby polar bear, all done in lights and lots of other things. There's going to be market stalls that are going to the Exeter markets are all already going to have started, and the cathedral closed. There's going to be activities, there's going to be live bands and stuff. It's going to be an amazing day, and so far I've got 7 definite asexuals that are coming. I can't wait. I only announced it a few days ago, and I haven't even publicised it on Avon yet, and I haven't even, so yeah, so the moderators there have said they've got complaints about me posting it in too many places. But, I have to post it locally and nationally because it's a local and national meet. I don't mind you pointing out problems with Avon. We're on YouTube right now, and I'm always pointing out problems with YouTube. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. Yeah. It's like, there's I just despair sometimes. I feel like because I'm prolific on there that I do get singled out. I think that people don't like it because I'm doing, because I've got all my own asexual stuff as well as asexual stuff on that I'm doing on there. I'm actually not that active compared to most people on there because I've got a lot better things to do with my time than just sit in forums all day. And not only that, it's like, I have 3 business pages. Facebook asexuality business pages. One's my Asexualise Academy, one's for my Asexualise website, one's for Asexualise dating as well. I run 5 asexual groups. I've got the asexualise.com website to manage, the Asexualise Academy.com site to manage. I've got the Asexualise Academy course site that's underneath the Academy site to manage. I've got this YouTube channel that I'm constantly live streaming on every single night and have been doing for over 3 months now. I've got private messages on Facebook I have to answer to people. I've got blog posts that I have to create for my blog on asexualise.com. I've got people I have to keep in, people in my groups. I try and reply to them and their comments quite a bit so that they know I care about them. I'm on asexual dating sites. I have to reply to their messages. I've still got an outstanding one on asexuality, asexuality.com to reply to. But this weekend, I have to literally get all these t-shirts done because it's Asexuality Awareness Week, like I said at the beginning of this video, on the 21st of this month. And that means I need as many t-shirts out as possible because people are going to need at least a week to 10 days to buy them in time for the week. And I need to get the new designs on there. I uploaded a load to amazon.co.uk the other day, but I haven't, done them all on Redbubble. And it takes so long. Sometimes it can take me blooming hours, like a whole hour to just upload one design to all these different products. It's a nightmare. But I have to do it, you know, because people need new designs, and it's good to raise more awareness. It's good just to have different designs on there, isn't it? And the more the merrier, really. And it gets, you know, asexuality recognized more, you know, the more stuff I post about asexuality. So it's just getting it out there, really. And you know, it's nice because a lot of the sayings on my t-shirts tell asexuals that I understand how they're feeling as well. So, you know, just by reading them, you can feel not so lonely and left out. So yeah, I was going back to why my book was born. So my book was born on, you know, because of asexuality.org. It's born there because I'm that person told me I couldn't identify as grey, and that's how my book was born, because I had private messages with other people on asexuality.org, and they said they felt the same. So yeah, I mean, I've had the, you know, the problems lately by moderators. I think you've tracked like a child on there sometimes. I have to say, I don't like to say it because I think asexuality.org's amazing with what it does. I think it brings asexuals together. You know, we can meet people. We can meet people for meets. You know, you can speak to people all around the world. It's incredible. I've got someone on asexuality.org that I'm currently messaging. I've also got someone on meetup.com. I have to reply to them. But like I said, this weekend is just focusing on upload, because sometimes an email, I can spend up to 4 hours replying to one email. Well, if I reply to all those messages, it's going to take a whole day. So, you know, I'm not going to get any work done. And because I was so sick before, I'm really behind with what I need to get done, you know. I really need to get so much done. So I'm kind of shifting my butt into top gear at the moment to get stuff done, especially when my mindset's a lot better. You know what I mean? I need to get shifted. So, yeah, so that's how I came to write my book. And, you know, and I realized there was other people, so I just wanted people to share their personal stories as well, because the other part of why I wrote my book is because I got asked so much, because I was like, I only started, how many groups did I have originally? I had the Ace Business group was my first one, and then I think I had the dating group second, and then the friends one. And I just started getting PM'd, like, because I did stuff on this channel. I don't know how it all came about. I just started getting PM'd all the time, like constant messages like, oh, hi, Sandra, I saw you at Asexualise channel, or I see you've got an asexual page, or I see you've got an asexual group, and can you help me with this asexual problem? Like, mostly it was to do with their identity, like, oh, I just found myself asexual. I'm not sure if I'm asexual or not. Can you help me find out if I am? And if so, can you help me find out which category I fall under, subcategory? And then I got asked in private message, well, I'm asexual as far as I know, but I watch porn, and I'm not sure if I'm actually can be asexual if I watch porn. I mean, is it normal? And I'm like, well, yes, lots of people watch porn. I personally don't do it, but lots of asexual masturbate to porn. So, you know, because I just used to watch loads of YouTube channels and do my own research and look in the forums and all sorts. And so, you know, I just ended up like everyone coming to me for advice about asexuality. They still do sometimes, obviously. But, you know, I try to, I try to let them know that I can't be online 24/7, basically, because I wouldn't have any life. I mean, I'm literally live and breathe asexuality. I don't know anyone who's got an asexual channel that's literally live streaming every single day of their life, you know, even when they're sick. Like, this is the 4th month I've done this for. I literally live and breathe asexuality. I just don't do much else but do that, you know. I need to do other things too, but so yeah, that's how my book was born. And you know, and I just got asked all these questions, and now I put all those answers to those questions in the book. Like, you know, I used to get asked about all sorts of stuff, you know. I used to, on asexualitic.com, which is a dating website, there's a group for BDSM people. Like, I was like a bit shocked, like, how can asexuals be into BDSM? And I ended up friending someone who I liked a little bit in terms of romance, but he's slightly older than me in birth certification, not someone I'd usually go for. And he was on there, but he seemed quite a nice person. But he was in a BDSM group, and I don't like BDSM. I mean, I don't like anything to do with that personally. But I was a bit shocked. I'm like, how can that be? And so when people are, you know, I've been able, because I've done so much research and I was so intrigued by it, and I just intuitively, I know that I can help asexuals because I have all this previous, excuse me, I need a drink. I have all this previous heterosexual experience, and you know, like, I've been with heterosexual half my life, and just this big sort of penny dropped, like, whoa, Sandra, you are a leader, not a follower. Tick. Yes. You need to get out of your comfort zone and push through your fears and boundaries because it'll develop you as a person. Tick. You need to write this book because you need to be a voice for asexuals that are told that they can't be who they think they are or who they want to be or how they define themselves. Tick. And it was like, Sandra, you've got all this experience of sexual since you're a teenager. And asexuals don't really understand heterosexuality, but you do. You understand it on quite a deep level. I mean, your ex was really good at sex. He's done loads of different positions with you. And he, I didn't really realise how experienced he was at the time. But now I do. Talking to asexuals, I'm like, oh, he quite knew what he was doing. But I mean, I did buy him that book. I think I told you I bought him a pocket book with cartoon characters of different sexual positions and never realised he was going to try them on me. And I'm like, oh, whoops. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, we're doing this thing now. We're doing that thing. I'm like, okay, just let him get on with it, really. And just do whatever and see how it works. But it's like, he took all the lead on that type of thing. But it's like, yeah, I just suddenly the penny dropped that I was born to help asexuals because I was reading stuff and then I just knew what to talk about to do with asexuality, even without people even telling me on a fundamental core basic foundation level, like within my soul. It's really difficult to describe. It's like I know what sexual attraction is without actually having it myself. It is really, really strange. It's like I've felt it, I've experienced it through other people. And I think with my high arousal levels, I'm possibly very close to sexual attraction in that sense, but I don't experience it. So I kind of, and I can feel the sexual energy from heterosexuals. I can feel it. It's a sexual attraction is like an energy, it's a feeling. I can feel it from them, like a furnace burning inside them or something. And I just fundamentally, honestly believe that my ultimate life purpose, my first and foremost, is writing. That's my life purpose because I have to change lives, and that doesn't necessarily mean just asexualize. It means other people's lives. I found that out in 2009 when I was made redundant for the second time, that I was born to write 100%. And lately, when I've started going back to writing books, like I've got ideas, like I want to do some more asexual books as well. Like when I started writing again, my soul was nourished and I felt closer to myself again. The had felt quite distant from myself. And so that's really important to me, but it's followed very, very closely by asexuality. So if I can write more books sort of in niche asexuality topics or niche, markets of asexuals, then I think that will be really, really good. But I think I need to also do some books for the mass market a bit more as well, because, I need to get some sales coming in. And I can help other people as well, because, I mean, I've got other books out. I've got one about Twitter, how to start a Twitter account for absolute beginners. It's called How to Get Started with Twitter, Get Going and Growing, a Step-by-Step Guide. I just kind of love my big titles. I've got one about redundancy, which is called Break Through the Barriers of Redundancy to Get Back into Work and A to Z How To Guide. That was my first book I ever wrote, 2.5 years it took me to write that. And I've got the Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a Celebration of Asexual Diversity book. And I've also got a book I got out this year called How to Install a Free SSL Certificate on Your WordPress Website for Absolute Beginners. So you can see they're all non-fiction, but they're very diverse in the books. But I just love writing non-fiction, to help people. And when I can think of a book and I just know my knowledge, I just want to pass it on before I die, basically. So that doesn't just mean for asexuals, it means anything I'm really knowledgeable about that I've learned quite in depth, I need to pass on, because when I'm not here anymore, people can't benefit from my knowledge. And I think, the written word is the most powerfulest word in the whole of the world. You can change lives through the written word like nothing else on this planet. I just totally believe that. And so, I have to write lots of books. I have to help people. And I just think with my experience, especially with the heterosexual and sexual stuff I did in the past, I mean, I'm not experienced in the terms of I've never had anything to do with BDSM. I don't have any experience. I don't, I only read and do research about it a little bit. It just cringes me out. So I can't do too much about that. I don't go in depth about it. Just, very basic, some stuff, like little bits. Like there was an asexual guy I met who wanted a dominatrix, an asexual dominatrix, which meant BDSM stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And I read a bit about it. I was starting to get a bit like, I don't know if I could be with such a guy. He likes dominant women. I mean, I'm definitely not a submissive girl. definitely I am probably a little bit more dominant than submissive, and if anything, because I'm definitely not submissive. But you know, being an actual dominatrix is a bit much. You know, I'm not really into leather gear like that, and I'm not really into like, you know, it's a bit much. It's a bit too, well, it's not my cup of tea, put it that way. You know what I mean? It's just, and like kinks, they're not even in my vocabulary, so I don't have anything to do personally with them. I don't even kind of totally get that. I don't really understand. I think some people, I think they just label something that's normal. Like, I just got really cheesed off. You know, I was going to say some people label some things I would class as normal as kinky, and I'm just like, what? It's like, no, it's just normal. So like, for example, there was an asexual guy who hadn't contacted me for quite a while, and then all of a sudden he came in a Facebook message and started talking about kinks and stuff. I just blocked him in the end. I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be doing with it. He goes, oh, you probably like it. And he was all about, oh, hugging is a kink. I'm like, excuse, you know, to me, hugging is not a kink. I'm sorry. But, you know, if you hug in a relationship, it's romantic. You know, it's a physical affection. It's not a kink. I don't personally get why that's a kink. You know, I don't like the word kink, so I don't want that associated with hugging either. I just thought, personally, I thought it was ludicrous. I know there might be some people who tune in and are into kinks and think that I'm not being very nice about it, but I just don't really care. I don't see how hugging is a kink. A hugging is, I mean, I don't know if there's special ways of doing it in a kinky way or something, but you know, to me, hugging's hugging. And yeah, you can hug close bodily contact. You can have very sexual behavior hugging, and you can have non-sexual behavior hugging, and you can hug in, like, there's a video that I messaged an asexual friend with, and there's like 15 different hugs you can do to friends and people, do you know what I mean, in general. So, you know, hugging's a huge thing. But so I don't have any experience. You know, my ex thankfully wasn't into any of that I know of, BDSM, kinks or anything like that. He was just into different sexual positions and sex he liked and stuff, do you know what I mean? And we didn't do it that often. Sometimes, like, for 2 or 3 months we wouldn't do that, and then sometimes it'd be like 3 times in a row. Like, I guess I'm quite energetic in that way. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm quite an energetic girl anyway. So, you know, a guy can't really, I mean, it hurt a bit some of the time, so I didn't really like doing it either. But, you know, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, you know, I'm like really young and energetic and vibrant. So it's like, kind of like a guy can't, you know, like, how can I put it? Like, you know, like doing it 3 times in a row, like, how can I put it? Like, you know, the guy might get tired, but, you know, I don't know, I'm not, you know, I don't know if I'm normal in the sense that maybe I don't get as tired as some other people might, you know. But the reason I kind of did it in 3 times in a row was to, like, satisfy him, because, like, sometimes we didn't do it for 2 or 3 months, and I thought, as I'm risking pregnancy anyway, and the pain's less, the pain used to be less in general the more I did it, because you kind of lubricated more. This is getting really personal here. Then, you know, I thought, well, you know, it's better to get it all out of the way in one go.